Assalamu alaikum. This is your teacher Jalil Ahmed Mahmi, and today the topic of our discussion is international humanitarian law. We will discuss some of the basic concepts which are involved in international law, international humanitarian law. So before starting the detailed discussion about international law, international humanitarian law, I would appreciate that we all should be focused upon these basic concepts. So first of all, we need to understand that what is international law, what are the kinds of international law, sorry. So what is international law, what are their kinds, what are the different definitions by different philosophers regarding international law, and what is public international law, private international law. So we will discuss about the basic concepts. So let's move towards the very first basic concept. What is international law? According to the famous jurist Ross, Lawrence, Opinion, they have got their different definitions about international law. Ross is of the opinion that this is a body of legal rules binding upon states and their relations with one another. रॉस कह रहे हैं कि जी ये कानूनी एक मजमूआ है जो रियासतों को आपस में जोड़ कर रखता है. And Lawrence says the rules which determines the conduct of the general body of civilized state in their mutual dealings. यानी वो कवानीन का मजमूआ जो ये तय करता है कि जो महज़ब दुनिया की जो रियासतें हैं वो म्यूचुअल यानी बाहिमी मुशावरत के साथ किस तरीके से आपस में डीलिंग्स करती हैं, कैसा उनका कंडक्ट होता है, तौर तरीका. An opinion is of the opinion that body of customary law and conventional rules which are considered binding by civilized states in their dealing with each other. Opinion में ये कहते हैं कि जो body of customary law यानी वो law जो based upon customs हैं और वो conventions, वो traditions जो महज़ब रियासतों के बीच में तयशुदा है कि वो किस तरीके से आपस में डीलिंग करेंगे. So precisely, if we ask this question and we make a good, precise reply regarding international law, we may say that it is a body of rules which regulates the relationship of the nation states with each other as well as their relationship with other international actors. यानी कवानीन का वो मजमूआ जो रियासतों के बीच में रिश्तेदारियों ताल्लुकात को बनाता है. यानी रियासत की दो रियासतों के बीच में किस तरह से रिश्ते कायम होंगे, किस तरीके के ताल्लुकात होंगे, and with other international actors. Now here's a great, I need your great concentration that first we need to understand what are the international actors. Well, international society is first and foremost a society of individual sovereign states. Sociological perspective में अगर हम देखें तो हमारा जो माशरा है एक घर है, घर में कुछ अफराद रहते हैं, उस घर का एक सरबराह होता है, उन अफरादों जो अफराद रहते हैं उनके कुछ हुकूक होते हैं, उनके कुछ फ़राइज़ होते हैं. फिर एक घर के दूसरे घर के साथ किस तरह के ताल्लुकात होते हैं, रिश्तेदारों के साथ, दूसरे मोहल्लेदारों के साथ, और उसके अलावा हम जिस मुआशरे में रहते हैं उस मुआशरे का मखसूस तौर तरीका. इसी छोटे से कॉन्सेप्ट को अगर आप बड़े कैनवस पर पेंट करेंगे, डिज़ाइन करेंगे, तो वी विल हैव द सेम रिजल्ट. यही कह रहा है कि जी जो बैन अल-अक़वामी मुआशरा है, जो उस मुआशरे में आज़ाद खुद मुख्तार रियासतें हैं, तो वो जो रियासतें हैं इंटरनेशनल लॉ के तहत वो सारे एक्टर्स हैं उसमें। यानी हर एक, जब घर का अपना किरदार होता है, घर के सरदार का अपना किरदार होता है। आपने देखा होगा हमारे आम मुआशरे में कुछ घर ऐसे होते हैं जो बहुत एग्रेसिव होते हैं, लड़ाई झगड़े, कुछ कम्युनिटीज ऐसे होती हैं बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेटेड होती हैं, और कुछ बहुत ही सावधान होती हैं, बहुत मोहतात होती हैं। Same is the case with international community when it comes to international law. In the international society, all these sovereign states act as an actor. They act as actors. In fact, one of the consequences of post-1945 expansion of international law into areas that had traditionally been of limited international interest has been increasing legal importance of a variety of non-state actors, most notably international organizations and individuals. Now, we being a student of law, we have the information, we have studied this history, that after the end of World War I, the Treaty of Versailles was signed in between the victors of the war and the defeated nations. The League of Nations came into existence. This was the first organization whose aim was to settle down the disputes in between the countries. But the World War II is an eye-opener, and it was a failure for the League of Nations. The League of Nations couldn't achieve this target, and World War II broke out in 1939. And we saw that it ended by bombing the Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the little boy and little Stuart. So after 1945, the world was changed. There was a considerable change in between among the behaviors of the state and among the different actors of international society. Now, all the sovereign states are international actors, and all these international organizations are non-state actors in international society. So precisely, it is the study of regulation which are observed for conducting the affairs of the states, and in a nutshell, international law consists of certain conventions on argumentation and modes of conflict resolution that some regard as a craft, others as an art. Most likely it is both, the contents of international law. So the conflict resolution mechanism is the key in international law. And we have this modern definition which says that the body of rules which regulates the relationship of nation states with each other as well as the relationship with international actors, as we discussed a bit earlier. International law is further divided into two kinds. One is public international law and other is private international law. So let's go through with the brief discussion about the public and private international law.